So apparently you guys don't have the word. To pickle a person? Starve a person? Well, we're gonna be talking about one starving buzzard on TikTok that is getting a little bit of heat because exposed by Oliver. However, because I support both sides, left and right, because I'm just a free newbie that gets tossed around of like, oh, there's good stuff over here and good stuff over here. There's insights from this man and there's, celebrities dancing around this thing or just funny, cool memes that he can conjure. So MCENTEE gets a shout out from Oliver. Obviously a little bit of roast on top of that because you don't get things for free.
Shot of what it's like to be on a date with him, which seems to be an absolute nightmare.
It is fascinating. A date right stuff. That's what it means to date him. I have seen him on my feed because I like insights. It's kind of interesting. In fact, I like insights so much that I have made a list of insights that probably basically never ends. Do you want one? What the fuck are we paying taxes for if we can't even get free phone calls? Fucking I hate that shit, bro. But do you see how it's a conversation starter? An insight can actually start tackling of like issue or a frustration, and then you just start talking with another person and bonding over that frustration of like, why are phone calls not free? Why can't I just call people that I need to call? What's going on? Why do I have to worry about topping up my phone all the time? That's old school garbage now that I want to forget about. My mom has to deal with this, and it just makes no sense. Especially, we get government's money, so why can't government just cover the fucking bills here? As long as that they don't exceed anything. Why don't headaches get removed? They're not supposed to be there. But it just seems like nobody cares about solving any problems nowadays. It's too complicated. And in fact, it's almost like we don't have time to solve problems. We're just gonna die after experiencing enough of these problems anyways. You just have to have a variety of problems in your life, and by the time you experience all of them, you're gonna be dead anyways. All the problems. Imagine how many problems there are in the world to experience. I love that. So there's so many insights you can squeeze out of this man, I imagine. There's one more thing, though, that deserves to be mentioned. It's my TikTok dad that also gets very angry, but has a very weird wife, too.
It's here. It's the day. Today is finally the day. Everyone gets to finally find out today that the date right guy is fucking evil.
What?
Yeah, you know the date right guy?
No, who are you talking about?
Okay, when you're scrolling through TikTok or Instagram, right? And there's that like skinny dude who's always eating alone in restaurants and he's saying a bunch of stolen fucking jokes that he found on like Twitter or some comment section.
Too bad you don't know where he gets the insights.
Guy that eats his sprinkles on the side.
Yes, and occasionally Gen Z kids will stitch and be like, well, Freddy Fazbear, that guy.
Okay.
Never seen any of the...
Okay.
His handle is date right.
Oh.
His name is John McEntee?
Okay.
I chose to remove the N because you get MCENTEE. That's the whole point, right? I don't need the N.
Okay.
All right? And he's fucking evil, babe.
What do you mean?
Okay, so this guy, he is one of the chief advisors.
He's like on the Trump side. And he got hired by the feds, right? And he wants to hire feds now. He wants to climb the ladder, basically. Blah, blah, blah. And then he got fired because of the gambling problems. And now he's closely associated with Trump. And that's all these projects and plans that Trump has. That's crazy, guys. And that's it. That's the whole insight. There's nothing else going on. Besides, Taylor Swift get mentioned of like, this guy really chased a girl of some kinds for months for liking a Taylor Swift post. That was kind of weird. That's a lot of shade on this guy now. Which I literally don't give a fuck because that's politics. That's politics, guys. That's where we're gonna start and just keep digging deeper. It's almost like you can, again, throw these 3 curveballs and you have a successful date, literally insights, and see how the other person is rationalizing the problem and trying to solve the problem and trying to be calm about it. And it's just like, well, we spend restaurant time, we eat and we talk. It's like, that's how it is, right? It's a wonderful date, I would say. I think a lot of people are like self-deprecating, especially like when I go to Tinder, like fucking women just don't know how to even have a conversation. And if you can't do that, we can't have a date. There's nothing to talk about. There's no way to spend time successfully. So this is actually good training. The Matrix training is upon us, guys. Prepare yourselves, for we explore the Mr. MCENTEE. And for the good person that I am, in a good light, in good terms and conditions, guys.
Just remember, when you're arguing with a boomer,
I'll try not to spend too much time on these insights because shit, it can trigger your brain into absolute rant. Absolute. Because, like, for fuck's sake, we're talking about boomers here.
you're actually arguing with the television, and the TV can't hear you, and it doesn't care.
Well, it doesn't care applies to every single person out there who just, like, completely immoral. But, like, my mom literally doesn't care and doesn't hear. Literally her physical condition that she doesn't hear most of the things and she can just let it pass. She's not bothered by sounds and music and all that shit. She doesn't help me with all the noises that I have to deal with. And 2024, special year for noises. Like, it's just nonsense, man. I still live alone, isolated, and very sad and depressed. So I need to take a...
I think I have depression. Here's an antidepressant pill with a side effect of suicide.
The reason for it is because pills kill. That's the whole point. That's why it rhymes. That's how pills are designed. This is why we're talking about this. To pickle a person. This is the name of, well, fucking Maria, bro. But no, like, Lagoon C, it's 50% that, and 50% to pickle, mortify, exterminate. This is how our hospital name is. You know, where all the mental patients go. Why is it that? Why are we getting pickled? Because it's all about shut the fuck up. You have too many emotions. Nobody cares about you anymore. You have too low reputation. You are a deadbeat, basically. Unless you can reason in court. Good luck with that. You know, like, alright. I'll take my chances. Instead of fucking laying in bed for 7 days. Until they find the right level of dead behavior from me. Until I'm dead enough for them, to satisfy that I am, in fact, very submissive, successfully submissive person in this society. Well, I'm not one of those, alright? I'm not one of those, and they should try and respect me a little bit more and try to detect that I have knowledge. I can't throw knowledge like machine gun bullet spread, but hopefully I can defend myself, because holy shit. It seems like things are going to court, and I don't want to talk about it too much, but I will talk about it on TikTok. And you can, on TikTok, decide who's guilty or not, in case I decide to tell the full story. Alright? TikTok, guys. TikTok might just be the place where I am inspired to post these as well, and, you know, trigger some people. But I can't just throw an insight, I have to, you know, add a little bit of juice as well. Add a little bit of a rant, because I can't do it for free. This guy can do it for free because he's fucking rich and, you know, in position of power and security and all that shit. I can't just sit there simulating a date with people. And yeah, so we're talking about depressants and the pills that kill. But the biggest insight that I have received against pills is like, that's how they designed, that's the whole point, that there's food and there are pills that you put into your system. And guess what the pill does? Well, not what food does. Food is supposed to fill you up. Food is supposed to be the source of energy, and it looks like a source of energy. A pill is more of a code-based, body-jamming sort of substance that can only do damage. You know, just like a bullet. The bullet is small, but can do tremendous damage. And the pill does the same thing. It's just you don't quite notice. You know, and the suicide thing is the reason why you want to kill yourself when taking pills is because that's what the pill tells you. That's what the people around you tell you, basically signaling that the best way to solve your problems is by killing yourself. So that's where it leads, my friends. And it's very sad, but you have to understand. You have to comprehend what's going on. This is how fucking deep these insights go. This is not some innocent little fucking joke thing that the TikTok dad is trying to convey. Oh, it's just some stolen Twitter jokes, guys. Oh, it's not that deep. Yeah, but like you have to understand that these are important insight. That these don't make sense very much. Why would this be helpful to take pills and eventually that lead to suicide? What the fuck is going on, right? When the right takes over, and the reason to support right is they're irrational and they want to solve problems. They want to make the world a little bit more consistent. They want to make America great again, as they said, but they didn't have. They were only just resisting the left at the moment. Now they have a full-fledged plan that they want to take in effect, and we should just let it fucking slip and try to make the best of it. Instead of complaining of like this is a very scary and there's going to be a lot of changes and all that shit. Like we have to accept that if you care about other people, you might just be empowered to properly care, to properly deliver to people you love the love that they need. You know, it's fascinating because those abilities are just kind of blocked for you. You can just keep bottling your love somewhere else, or in my case, in just one room, I'm just bottling all emotions inside myself. It's fucking high-level training at this point, and I don't know who's gonna be my first date, to be honest. That would be nice. I would be simulating a date like this, man, as long as I would get one in the end. I would push that shit on TikTok, but I don't know if that's worth my time, right? That's the funny thing.
If the vaccine was so great, why is it so easy to find people who regret taking it, but not a single person who regrets not?
I just want to add to the pile that vaccine and any injection in general is way more dangerous than illness of any kind. Illness you can fucking dodge. You just socialize a lot less. You actually commit to, you know, the lockdown as a good idea. But you know, government has put so much pressure into making people fear. And they put pressure to make people submissive as well, to double check that everyone's submissive and all that crap. And it's whatever. We survived it. COVID is over. Then we had fucking Russian war, and now we have the purge. And we do in fact have the purge. Just some people refuse to acknowledge it. Like even going to the shop, I mean, I have to deal with the same fucking idiots who have bought toys, like bikes, and the fucking four-wheeler. Four-wheeler, bro. Just next to a store, just driving around, making terrifying noise. Things are evolving. The apocalypse is not gonna end anytime soon. 4 more years, my friends. So you better be prepared to make some changes. Because just everything stacks. It's not like COVID went away. This problem was not solved. And this guy's still talking about vaccines to this day. It's crazy. That's crazy, man. We should have not talked about it anymore. We should just be like, well, we don't need it because it's just as scary as the illness is. The reason why vaccines is scary, not only pills make it through your mouth and digestion system, it has to still travel through a lot of layers to deal damage to you, basically. The vaccine just pokes through your body and injects venom directly into you and now deal with it, basically. And if you deal with it successfully, then congratulations, you may or may not have immunity to the disease because you have survived it. It's the most life-threatening thing ever, and I did have side effects. I don't know if I took vaccine twice. I probably did, and the second time I felt absolutely nothing. But the first time I got the shivers, bro. The fucking shivers. The shivers that, funny enough, Ed Sheeran was thinking about. Those kind of shivers in my bed. Like, I felt very cold and just keep shivering, like, as if I came out of ice cold water. I was just sitting in my bed, like, I'm just can't generate body heat or something. Like, that sort of jamming is scary, bro. It went away, but like, to get an immediate side effect after taking vaccine, I mean, holy Jesus, bro. Holy Jesus. Well, at least you don't die from vaccine. You know what you would die from? Constant injections. So, people should take vaccines for a reason. Just to support people who actually take constant injections in their fucking ass. Wherever that injection might go. Some people do take it, like in mental hospitals. They try to push that shit on me. And guess what happens? Shit happens. All of a sudden, my eyes are rolling up and like I don't feel right. I feel just pure anxiety, bro. Pure loss of control of my just body functions. I'm like, what the fuck? I got it. So all those 3 times that I got injections, that includes that one vaccine and the side effects. Every time there is a side effect, and it stacks. That shit stacks, bro. So take vaccine because that's not gonna kill you. It's a cool little experiment to show your courage, basically, of like, just fuck it, right? Just take it, forget about it. Move on with your life. Live through it. Do it for that. See, the COVID is a different sort of virus. The reason why it's a pandemic, because everyone has fears. And fears can mutate and evolve and take different shapes and forms and just put you in a really terrible spot. What you have to do is fight your fears. You have to stand up for your self-esteem. Prove that you have a reason to live, and no matter what, I'll take that vaccine, I'll put that mask, it must go away. But you kind of respect that, You're fighting a good fight by not fearing to do these things. So in a way, some submissiveness is justified, and we all can still celebrate instead of being bitter about it. We can still celebrate that we survived COVID and we survived pandemic, and we share some kind of storyline all together, right? So it's good and bad. But you take those, you take that poison that people give you and you push through it no matter what, right? Unless you're really on the verge of dying, probably not recommended. But again, it's not about COVID, it's not about getting scared, it's just about doing the thing that will clean your mind. And you can move on and continue living your life as best as you can, because it's a worldwide phenomenon as well, where you just live your life like everyone else. It's still fair. That's another weird thing. So COVID was fascinating human behavior across the world. Like, it's crazy. It's a crazy story to remember. And for some reason, this guy talks about vaccines 3 days ago. What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's funny how things change. 10 years ago, everyone was scared of trans fats, but now everybody celebrates fat trans.
Okay, that one's a joke.
Ever notice that drag queens never go read to the elderly? Ever notice?
Yeah, that would get dragged for sure.
Has anyone noticed that if you fly...
Yeah, so there's a lot of these lefty fucking trash talks. But when it comes to like medication, I've been there, done that, and got very fucking upset. Because it's not... some medication is not one of those one and done things. Some medication is there to fucking kill you for real. You know, chase you and stab you repeatedly until you die. I'm almost like in a fortunate position because I got side effects. I got pretty decent side effects, so I can like remove injections from my life. It happened. Otherwise, you know, I'm not safe for society, guys. I swear. I don't have a rational mind or anything. I can't even form sentences for YouTube videos.
Flag, everyone knows who you're voting for. Notice that if you fly the American flag, everyone knows who you're voting for.
Really? I guess that makes sense, because there's two flags. And there's a pride flag.
So gay people are gay because they were born that way. But trans people aren't their sex even though they were born that way? Got it.
Yeah, there's even inconsistencies in LGBTQ itself. But you could still be born a way to transition from one thing to the other. But it's weird. It's a weird... I don't want to argue with this, because it's whatever.
Always get the extra side of orange chicken, just in case. Imagine being one of our politicians. You steal everyone's money and still end up 35 trillion in debt.
I still don't know what the national debt is about, to be honest. We're just taking from China, Japan, and some weird-ass countries in Europe. And by saying we is like Americans. I don't know what kind of technology we will need to eliminate debts, or how the debts can be repaid, and why debts even have these sort of like interest payments of like, holy shit, what, every year a $35 trillion debt is gonna grow by 1 trillion naturally, just grow? It's crazy, bro. It's the hardest thing to comprehend, and I don't want to linger.
Just so you know, if every major corporation is advertising and promoting your movement, you aren't oppressed or part of any resistance. You aren't oppressed.
I think that's fairly reasonable. The ball got rolling and now everyone is in on it, basically. So who's oppressed now if you have a whole fucking movement? There's only one other side to fight against. But everyone's on board of like, yeah, I like diversity, I like all these sexual... Oh, I've never said this word before. Deviations, look at that. Like, okay, you made your fucking points, you made your movements, you blobbed all the people you could possibly blob. Now it's time to sit back and fucking relax, enjoy your time. The blob, bro. It's so painful, to be honest. Especially when the blob reaches you of like, well, it's about time to stop. And not just be like, oh, whatever blob cannot take in has to die. Well, please don't do that, okay? Now we're oppressed by all means necessary.
So I just knocked on the psychic's door, but then she asked, who is it? We're leaving. So
That's kind of fucking funny.
how come when white people move somewhere, it's called colonization, but when any other race moves somewhere...
It is one of those weird things with psychics, so... You just gotta come in and I know everything about you, basically. I'm your best friend. That's a pretty good vibe. I want to remind you guys that there's a general shift in the way things gonna work, because women have been dominating for a very long time, like 8 years, and now men have to dominate for a certain amount of time too, and MCENTEE is someone you cannot defeat just by being like, oh, I hate that this guy exists. I'm not saying all of his insights are fucking terrific and worth listening to, you know, but it is just worth listening. just pass by, and might not trigger you, and that's great. You know, just pass through all the insights. You're not gonna get more potent content than this, at least not for your brain.
It's called cultural enrichment? How come when white people move somewhere, it's called colonization, but when any other race moves somewhere, it's called cultural enrichment?
Well, people from the north are cold-hearted people. They wanna fix things and explore things, and it's a very cold-blooded activity. People from the hot countries, they just want to cool down, but they kind of do be looking like monstrosities and very scary people. So you have to not make a scary name for this. So people, so there's enough time for them to linger in case they're very strong and don't scare people away. Again, there is no real race, there's just a spectrum of colors that people have, of melanin and stuff that people call, of brownness. Spectrum, guys. I am extremely white, and I will continue being extremely white because I'm stuck in a fucking room. So prepare yourselves. You know, I don't get sunlight. No one wants me outside in the first place. No one celebrates the sun and sunshine and all that shit. Like, my doctor wants me to go outside. That means I'm not going outside ever. If my doctor wants something from me, I'm not giving that shit to him ever, bro. Whatever you want. You want an elephant? I'm not giving you an elephant. It's just how it goes, bro. I was about to, but I changed my mind.
How come when white people move...
So yeah, a spectrum of colors, spectrum of energies, to say the least. I'm more concerned about center people, like India. These are weirdos. They can go up and down and not trigger anyone. Shades of sunlight.
Remember?
Because you can become black. You can literally be like Ariana Grande, fucking bathing in sunlight, artificial sunlight. I forgot the fucking name. But it's tanning, basically. You can tan yourself into blackness, and you're probably not going to be far off from identifying yourself as black, because it changes you. Your richness lies within energy and all the sunlight you have absorbed, instead of actually having things and doing things properly, having skills, having common sense, all these things. No, you can just socialize with whoever you want when you have been bathing in sunlight. You have just plenty of energy and self-esteem and coherent capacity to solve any problem. Unless you give black people guns, then that doesn't mix very well. Turns into gang culture very quickly. I don't know why America is still, you know, has free guns for everyone. Even those people who have been bathing in sunlight and will solve their problems much more quicker with the guns now. Wow, that's crazy. I don't know, just a thought. I'm not strongly opinionated about this thing. Just fascinating idea. If you have watched TikTok enough, you at least know the spectrum of brownness exists.
COVID, when they painted circles on the grass in the park, and if you left your little circle, someone's grandma would die? Science!
I love science.
So Kim Kardashian flew from LA to Paris because she wanted one particular piece of cheesecake, and then she flew all the way back, and yet we're all here forced to use paper straws in order to save the planet. So
I mean, we could complain about all these celebrities, and they do be doing some fucking weird shit. I'm not gonna lie. They do be doing. You'd do the same if you had the money. It's so fucking weird. No, you can't just have the money. You have to have the willpower to do stupid shit. I'm just saying, that's not a good argument. A lot of people, a lot of billionaires have the money and they don't do shit at all. Like, they don't even fly.
So if I set up a homeless encampment here, that's fine. But if I park here for 5 minutes, they're gonna fine me $200? Got it.
What?
So if I set up a homeless encampment here, that's fine. But if I park here for 5 minutes, they're gonna fine me $200.
Yeah, because you have a car and you have to share a little bit of money with everyone. Although, usually just government takes your money and doesn't do anything about homelessness, which is kind of sad.
Aliens are gonna be super confused when they show up threatening to overthrow our leaders, and we're all stoked and offer to help. Alien.
My God. I would say these are not our leaders in the first place. It's just a mad show of politics. It's very difficult to call them leaders. It's just whatever happens, happens. Whatever they come up with. It's the influencers that are our leaders. It's the influencers that we can actually choose which ones to listen to. So I think your brain can overthrow so-called leaders. I think this one is just wrong.
Just wanted to wish the LGBT.
But at the same time, everyone hates. But it's just over-investment into politics, and politics don't matter, and then you get upset about nothing. Upset about wasting your own time.
BTQ plus community, a happy Pride Month. Enjoy, but don't forget to thank a straight person for your existence.
That's a cool one. It's the straight people you should be thankful for. Amazing. It's just a general rule. It's just like something you cannot be outraged about because you just lose the argument instantly of like, yeah, gotta bow down to them straight people making babies, you know, fucking crazy, right?
I was totally gonna vote for Trump last week, but because a left-wing prosecutor and left-wing judge and left-wing jury in a left-wing city decided to convict him yesterday, I mean, there's just no way. There's no way I could vote for a convicted felon.
And yet, against all the odds, Trump is probably going to be winning, right? Right? Again, liberalism of you can do whatever you want as long as you don't harm anyone. It gets to some extreme levels at this point. Which kind of evolves into you can do whatever you want as long as it only harms you. But all of a sudden, slowly encroaching these drag queens to interact with children of like, did everyone sign up for this thing? For their children to experience drag queen? Is that a normal thing people sign up for? All of a sudden, like, things get very questionable very fast. Of like, is everyone respecting each other? Because things could start falling apart and we could secretly bottle hatred and all the bad emotions just by being tolerant, by being accepting of other people's behavior and weirdness. These people are harmless until they do in fact try to prosecute Donald Trump to the point where, like, are you sure you have enough reason to do that? Or is just bottled fear coming out and declaring a losing battle? Because you can defeat the leader, but can you defeat his army? That's the question. Because you can't defeat it without reason. If you're doing unreasonable things, people will know eventually which is the right side of history.
I was totally gonna vote for Trump. Okay, we're heading into Fox 11. I just wanted to congratulate Donald Trump on being the only person in 2024 convicted of any crime in a New York courtroom.
That's something, I guess.
Cash is freedom. That's why they're getting rid of it. You know that, right?
And we'll have to take it back somehow. You have to feel the quantity of money that you have somehow. It doesn't have to be cash necessarily. I don't think it quantifies itself very well, because then you have Mr. Beast levels of briefcases in your house laying around, which is not ideal, right? How do you quantify value instead of just having cash is a puzzle to solve. Nobody actually did it yet. But I can't wait. I can't wait, to be honest. There has to be a way. Everyone like has smartphones. There's something we can do. Because just a number on the screen does not encompass $2,000. You see $2,000 on the screen, you will not feel it. You see Mr. Beast's briefcase, and you feel like, oh shit, that's almost like $10,000, but it's not full. It's not full, guys. 2 stacks in there. Holy shit. And the biggest part about the quantity is that you have control over cash. But it's a weird one. The most important thing is not LGBTQ or whatever bullshit. Most important is to fall in love with celebrities and, you know, build a relationship. At least towards them. I don't know if you can do it directly. I think you can. You know, they're all going to be like suffering Trump's existence. And that's why you have to support both sides. But with this side, like, there's nothing to support. You just support yourself in your needs and desires. You don't just become a blob of LGBTQ. You just like, well, I want to be straight. I can't even be straight without connecting with people. So I guess I'll just wait for my turn or something. I don't know. While everyone is yapping about their sexual, you know. Shit, I will never learn this word, guys. Deviate.
Cash is freedom. That's why they're getting rid of it.
Oh, and the most important quantities that you can hold and possess cash. Truly possess cash. There should be some kind of tokens, tokenification of money, even like big substance of money, tokenized, where we do in fact have $1 trillion in one coin. Fuck yeah, that would be cool. We actually tokenize things. Some fucking Pokemon cards are worth $1 million. So tokens are possible. We try to do tokenization of NFTs, of owning things across the internet. Didn't work very well because it feels like the same shit on the screen type of feeling. Where it's like, do I really own it, or is just an image on the goddamn screen? Like, it doesn't feel like a physical object. That's the difference. So hopefully, you know, we start solving these problems.
You need to buy medical insurance. Why? I'm healthy. Because if something happens to you, you'll have to spend thousands of dollars. But the insurance is thousands of dollars. Trust us, it's worth it if something happens. Okay, something happened. Can you pay? No. You need to spend $20,000 first.
Oh man, so many scams are set in place, rotting away any substance of helpfulness of the system. Nothing is helpful. I swear, nothing is helpful. I don't go to a hospital to, you know, heal myself. I go to a hospital to talk to the other second person in my life, you know, and then it would move on with my life. That's it. It's the whole place. I don't even know if it's helpful, to be honest. I definitely don't go to the dentist or the barber or even buy clothes, because it's just something that a society would demand from me successfully. Then I would be like, yeah, okay, I'll buy that thing from you. You can sell it to me. You can come up to me and just be like, oh, you want to buy these pants? I'd be like, yeah, fucking sure. You can do that. That's the superpower people have, and they're starting to forget. And insurance, the best insurance is that we help each other avoid medical needs in the first place. Yeah, the best insurance is to be cared for before you bleed to death and you can't even get basic help from people. But I don't know. It is one of those gambling things of like, oh, a lot of people have to sign up for it, and we're just gonna help all these ones that get in trouble, and we don't even want to help them, actually, to be honest. It's the craziest scam ever, bro. To scare people into signing up for something, extracting their life force, and whoopsie noodles. There's no actual benefits.
This weekend, let's remember that another way to honor our servicemen is to not send them to die in faraway conflicts that have nothing to do with us. This week...
So how do we honor them? Well, we have to make them useful somehow. That's the whole point. Like, every single one of these insights provide a problem that's very difficult to solve. It does require action, it does require awareness. It does require to raise a hand if you have one of those people who have suffered through war, who have serviced themselves to fight for the country, but like, geez, what does it take? Because again, people will want to sacrifice themselves, give themselves as a service. I hope they know what they're doing, first of all. When you're signing up for something, you have to know exactly the terms and conditions. Anyways, let's not make things awkward. Let's keep going.
This economy is so bad. $33 for toilet paper? We can't even afford to shit.
I didn't even know what that was about.
It's interesting that young white men are only 10% of the population, but 98% of the military deaths. So much for that privilege.
Well, the privilege to be dismissed and be treated like trash and useless and not diverse enough to be interesting. It's like, now it's more like craving. The LGBTQ is the craving. It's the blob manifestation maximum. Just craving for maximum chaos almost. For weird shit to happen. Because everything just fucking bleeds into all these sexual desires, which are eventually irrational and potentially can be very damaging because, shit, I'm still trying to be straight, guys. I'm really trying hard. My best.
No one is taking climate change seriously enough. The entire coastline is going to be underwater in 5 years.
Then why did you just buy a new beach house?
Well, no one is...
Full hypocrisy. I wouldn't want to know names now. Give me names of who's stupid enough.
A large Diet Coke, 2 large drinks. Thank you. When people ask what radicalized me, it's the fact that a $5 footlong now costs $13.
Yeah, how do we end up with a $13 sandwich? Kind of fascinating. Something I could make at home in any way I want. But I guess, I mean, that's not radical. They just like spit in your face and you have to do all the work yourself now. Good luck, baby. I'm just like, oh yeah, lefties would call these not insights but jokes. Because that's all they understand of like, oh, a funny thing you just said and I will not care about it now, right? I can laugh, but I will not care about it, right? Jeez. This is more of a like conversation. He doesn't have to be correct or coherent. In this case, neither of these things make any sense to me. Except that his frustration makes sense. That's too fucking expensive. Rent is too damn high, guys. How about my insights? If you want to have a good time, you go to whoever is left. If you want to tackle a problem, you go to the people who are right. Fucking invented religion of centrism just like that. Yeah, funny enough, in English, like, there's ambiguity in words. and left can mean, like, many different things. But to be left, you know, people get left behind. Everyone moves on and they decide of, like, I want to be trans, I want to be gay, and everyone just leaving. In actuality, you know, blobbing themselves, thinking that they're a part of this proud community, that they have achieved something, but slowly they're dwindling down the numbers of whoever actually is there to have good time and not cause propaganda or change things majorly. You know, you can explore yourself, but you don't have to make a drastic choice and pretend that you're coming out of the closet with all your intentions. And in general, people who are left are the ones that still, you know, don't mind having you as a friend. So many people actually do get bothered that you're their friend, and it's almost like, I don't want you, you have broken my feelings that one time, and I always gonna remember that, always gonna keep a grudge. And it's very difficult to just keep or have any friends left, you know. So that's where you go. Whoever is left, whoever is still capable of, you know, handling your emotions. On the other side, this one is self-explanatory, and I don't have to even talk about it. You know, there's no deep cut about the right people. They know what the right moves to make. Doesn't mean that you will be able to defeat the problem and solve it immediately, but the right people. But the question then becomes, who are they? Where the fuck are they? Maybe my dad is the right person when it comes to, like, solving the issue of not having multiple homes. I don't know, he's pretty experienced on that manner. I said manner, but like matter. But you get the... Maybe I don't trust people enough, but I don't know who's right. You know? Maybe I'm just right, and I have a few things that are left for me. Or I am actually lacking of people who could help me solve problems, and now I'm fucking stacking that shit. I don't know. But what balances this part is that we're doing it right now, right? We're listening.
Thank you. Boomers will be like, kids need to play outside more, when this is the outside they created.
I mean, if you want people to go outside, yeah, you have to put influence outside. You gotta clean the damn space and give it meaning of some kind.
The Department of Education was created in 1980. Since then, not a single academic metric in the country has improved. Not even sure what the punchline is. The Department of Education was created in 1980. Since then, not...
I mean...
Just so you know, if the government is allowed to break the law during emergencies, they're just going to keep creating emergencies.
This one doesn't hit me at all.
Can someone...
Although I understand it, right? Is the scam of creating a threat and dealing with the threat that you created and pretending that you're a good person because of that.
Explain why the NFL, which is only 24% white, needs an office of diversity, equity, and inclusion? Can someone explain? The government of Peru has done a horrible thing. They classified transgender people as mentally ill. Awful. I hope nothing like that ever happens in America.
Are trans people mentally ill? Very likely. In one condition. In condition that we can't afford to have them. That's the condition. If you can't afford to have mentally ill people in your country, then you will be detecting transgender bullshit as mentally ill, because it's like, it's clown behavior that doesn't even get really much paid in any significant way, just a bunch of attention. Which is not payment, is actually a distraction all of a sudden that nobody really even asked for. Like, if you want to support something, you gotta pay for it. But again, being transgender is not an occupation, it's not a job. It's just, you know, identity. It's the stupidest thing is most countries can't afford that shit.
Saying we don't need guns because we have police is like saying we don't need fire extinguishers because we have firefighters.
Is this one of those fucking quizzes now? Because I feel like I'm not on a date, I'm on a quiz, bro. I have to say something smart back or solve the problem, you know, that has been raised. We don't need guns because someone is gonna carry that for us. If we have capacity to defend ourselves successfully, then yes. We can take responsibility for ourselves, and we should always seek responsibility for ourselves. That's, you know, government collects all the power that people don't want to take for themselves. Now, guns is not #1 priority, I'm just saying. I'm not, like, salivating to have a gun, but it's an idea that counts.
The only masculinity that's toxic is when a man thinks he's a woman.
The reason why this is true is because if you destroy your masculinity, or anything that destroys itself, would be toxic, you know. Sick. Too sick? Is that how we made it? Too sick to be itself, to embrace itself.
Toxic is when a man thinks he's a woman.
So trying to run away from being a man is toxic. You can be both if you're desperate. You can embrace both things, but it's a lot more difficult to embrace the woman thing. See, the way you can embrace the woman thing is by having a fucking girlfriend. By being actually straight, you will embrace the female within yourself a lot more. A lot faster. Because you don't have to conjure it through your own will. A woman in your life is going to be able to do that for you. How convenient, guys.
It wasn't a good idea to force dumb people to go to college and then lower the standards for everyone so those dumb people can pass.
Well, this one's too complicated for me. I don't have enough facts. College is dumb. The idea of college is fucking dumb. You just go to work and learn how to work. Learn how to be useful. College should just be one of those moments where you're almost going to the movies to see something educational, and you all gather to learn some kind of interesting pile of facts and move on with your life. It shouldn't be the go-to place for everyone to learn, especially the, well, not so smart people who can just learn things and all of a sudden be useful at the same time. Not everyone can do that.
Reminder, Mother's Day is for moms, not for men in dresses. Your day is April 1st. Same people who voted to fine you for not having health care want to give it to illegal aliens for free.
Yeah, you don't want to treat people who are in your country, but technically, you know, they do get punished. They do be cooking like frogs, you know. You get stuck in some kind of location, you get used to it, it gets worse and worse and worse for local people. Is just, what a cool tactic that is. As for the Mother's Day and April 1st, I can't give any comments. I'm too tired, man. Probably I might stop commenting on LGBTQ bullshit, because it's exhausting anyways. It's more of a individual basis of whether we care about them or not. Because we can laugh at them, and it's not at their expense. We're trying to help almost. Because that's what happens when it comes to mental illness. Any discussion helps. If they want to run away from that discussion, that's fine. But yeah, on the individual basis, I would want to focus instead of like, oh, there's a bunch of people who want to pretend that they're women and stuff. It's surprising in statistics. I mean, I see that it's sort of the same. Women to men and men to women transition rates. I just can't believe it though. I want to double check. I click one thing, it shows this, but there's nothing inside. Like, what? What did you just show me? Almost like the same article got copied and pasted and it doesn't even contain anything. Estimates suggest that trans women are 3 times more common. Again, the reason why I will dodge these things, because none of this makes sense to me. While being a virgin, you just literally, this is noise. This is as noise as it gets, bro. Holy shit, man. Lonely virgin too, like, I'm not even gonna impress anyone by turning into a female, you know, I'm not even gonna help anyone by doing that. Also, I'm a rational human being too. Like, everything about this is noise, and you can make millions of jokes, so I can't even comprehend this thing. Also, to me, it's like male jealousy towards women. That's why there's more trans men. I mean, trans women. Meaning someone transitioned into a woman. Yeah. It's just jealousy of like, oh my god, positivity, that's so cool. I wish I had that in my life. If you know what masculinity is, you make positivity yourself. Drag it into your life by force. You know, I felt really manly when I was beating up a mosquito that was bothering me. My room is small, and I can find a goddamn mosquito when he's flying around. I can hear it and find it. And I'm like, that's manly right there. I solved the problem. I smacked the shit out of it. No woman can actually do that. No woman would be like, I need to smack this fucking mosquito, and when he's gone, my room is clean, and I'll be able to sleep properly. And it's like a taking up a challenge, and you seek positivity out of just destroying all the evil in your life as best as you can. So I guess I do have
When I was younger, my teacher told me that guns kill people. And I told her that my number 2 pencil was the reason for my bad grades.
Yeah, the world of shifting blame based on your preferences of like, I don't want anyone to have guns because guns are scary. We have to shift blame. However, this insight doesn't hit me hard and I need one to end the video.
Democrats want to hold gun manufacturers liable, but not vaccine manufacturers.
Is it fear-based psychology of like, but vaccine manufacturers have proven that there are illnesses way scarier than vaccines, and with guns are just scary in general, guys.
All the people that are yelling at me about eating meat that's pumped with hormones don't seem to care about children being pumped with hormones. If our government can fund 2 wars simultaneously, then they're taxing us way too much. If our
I am getting confused. Also, this does feel like one of those, is he just copying and pasting other people's jokes, or did he make up his own jokes? Because that's sometimes what people do for fun. They have brains. So that's it. That's it for now. I don't know if I'm gonna come back to this guy, because eventually it falls flat into just guns, vaccines, or COVID-related themes, and then LGBTQ-related themes, which is like, also I should call it LGBT, because that's just so much easier, bro. Why the fuck? Q? Q is a respectable letter. I use Q to summon buttons. Alright? Look at that. Look at those buttons that I'm clicking right now. So, for now, I'm not impressed. I was expecting something way, way better. So, depending on how much content he has, maybe there's one more video that is possible to squeeze out of him. But I do like the idea of, like, someone throws you an insight, and you have to sort of, like, tangle it out, unpack it like a present, so everyone's happy, basically. You defeat the awkwardness of just like, oh, I don't care. Because that's the most awkward thing, not caring and not saying anything. It's pretty awkward. You have to be able to bounce that shit back. And cool training, but wasn't really impressed, to be honest. See you guys next time.